Another beautiful day has passed in my beautiful small town in Central America, and super grateful to be becoming part of the community. I don't know what planet that is up there. That is not the moon. Here's some music, just some symphonic music, and I just noticed that there's a camera right there, essentially being watched in this modern world. Makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable at all times, but that's why the camera is pointed in this direction, not at my face. I think that, well, what I want pointed at my face is the people I know, my community. Said I'm super grateful to becoming part of this community once again. And I think a big lesson that I've learned, it could be a big mistake that I've made in the past and that I see a lot of other people make. Is one of the big things for me is I'm trying to catarata, waterfall, Spanish word, is I've isolated myself and then thought to myself, well, I feel isolated, and then not good about it. As a lot of people say, oh, I want to retire and move out into the country. Oh, I want to move to Central America. Or I want to move to the beach. Or I want to move to an island. And they want to be alone, and have a big view, whatever they may want. Or they just want to be alone. They don't even care about the view. So just far away from other people. And then which goes against what we are as a species. Modern upright walking man, which doesn't mean live in your car because you're so isolated. And we're pack animals. Like, we crave to be in a large, strong pack. And that's why social media, I believe, has taken such a presence as well, so that we can team up easier, but it leaves us empty. Same as when we live too rurally. We need a little bit of urbanization. If you're going to live rural, that's mighty well fine if you have a lot of children and brothers and sisters and friends who are also having a lot of children. So it's super rural, but you're in, community is the medicine, is what I've learned. And it reminds me every day I'm so blessed to have failed and accept my failures and then try to build on from them. Keep pounding dirt. How did Californians become Californians? Well, a lot of them either came from Oklahoma or they came on the Oregon-California trail system. Came from a place where they accepted their losses, picked up, salvaged what they could, and moved on yonder down the trail. If we build on our failures, instead of forcing things, I think just flowing with, sometimes the tide's in, sometimes the tide's out. You don't force it to be one way or the other. It's beyond our powers. Well, what is within our powers, I believe, is acceptance. One of the things we can accept is that's inevitable right there. If you're breathing one day, so are all these people. And that's where they are now, and that's where we will be. But can we enjoy the beautiful evenings? I think we can. Buenas. Yeah, community, small town checks and balances, where everybody knows your name. Like, you know, who doesn't? I mean, that's what we downright crave for, even if we can't intellectualize it, verbalize it. You know, we be good to people, even when we don't agree with them. I wonder what he was sparking up. It's beautiful. The beach is the way the bird flies, maybe a mile in that direction, all that way. This whole, maybe a mile the way the bird flies. Just a touch more, possibly, but maybe less. Yeah. Super. Beautiful evening. Venice. Only the gringos. Kennedy. Not quite as nice. That's why we're attracted down here, because of the culture. Even if we aren't so nice where we come from, it's just why we're drawn to here. To balance ourselves out and balance out the community. I think sometimes things pull us in certain directions. And I've lived more isolated than anybody I've ever known. I've literally never, besides my neighbors where I were, my closest, what you consider vecinos, neighbors, whereas like an hour drive to the closest small, extremely expensive grocery store, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours to a reasonable priced one. Hello. Yeah, something about being able to hear the cicadades. The beautiful evenings. And being able to say hello to your neighbors and walk. I've been here for a short amount of time, but I'm sure I will get to know so many more people as I'm making amigos, which in my definition and many people's definition, once again, means a buddy. Making buddies. Real easy to make buddies around here. That's one of the downsides, I guess, is really easy to buddy up with people who are never gonna be your friend. But then it's kind of what the locals will say is, to remind you is, keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. Your friends close and your enemies closer. So it's, really important to come down, in my opinion, for life, is to have a lot of community, which means you're gonna pal up with people who are never gonna have your best interest. They might never have their own best interest, and you got to interact with them like they're part of your tribe. And then to be able to, the important thing is that's okay. That's why people isolate themselves. And it's like, man, you gotta be reasonable. And if people can't be reasonable with you, just draw a line and move on down the path. Which might just be go back to your own land, or talk to your local neighbors, if people aren't being just. Get the community backing and support, which is what you should already have, so it shouldn't be difficult to drum up a little support if you're already, walking and getting to know people in your local areas. Cool new bar that's popping up. Whale Tail Brewery. Can't wait till I get a restaurant, because they're talking about their natural food store, so they might be, they might have a good, so zero waste products, natural drinks and snacks, health food store. You know, like none of the restaurants right here are open. I know when the tourist season comes, they will be, but it's just like hotel and restaurant, a couple of them, and then just the evening, beautiful, beautiful oil palm trees, planets in the distance, motorbikes drumming up. Yeah, I don't know. And this is cool to be coming from. If you can tell in the video, we're just slightly walking downhill, so it's always a little bit easier to come back from the mountain. But not too much of a hill, so you barely even notice it either way, but just enough. Yeah, super beautiful evening. I love it. And you get people packed in a little bit tighter into the individual homes, and people can stretch out into the empty lots that exist right now. But 10, 20 years, I don't think there's going to be empty lots here. And 10 and 20 years ago, there was nothing anywhere.